deliver. When it comes to comparing ourselves to the competition in the industry, these comprehensive communications technology portfolio, even more than Cisco, Avaya, and far and away ahead of competitors like Microsoft and RingCentral. Part of that is our origin. We were built for unified communications from the ground up. While most of our competitors were built for a voice-centric or even voice-only platform architecture, and then they had to build on different capabilities like presence and recording and video and messaging. And abilities are built into the core of TO's platform, which affords us the ability to have a level of unlimited innovation versus our competitors who offer a restricted level of innovation. We have an advanced technology infrastructure versus a cumbersome infrastructure with the competition. For 100% total and complete resilience for our technology for our customers, and other solutions provide only limited resilience at best. Customers enjoy using TO technologies. Other technologies people tolerate using. And bottom line is working with TO over project success versus project disappointment. Other things that TO apart are that we are the only company to provide a total end-to-end solution, encompassing system, hardware, software, PSTN interfaces, gateways, cloud premises deployment models, desk phones, soft phones, mobile apps, SIP trunking, and telco services. That you don't have, customers aren't left with finger pointing when things go wrong. We can deliver an entire solution and support it directly. So, from desk phones to soft phones, smartphone apps, tablet apps, operator panels, administration interfaces, hardware, and cloud or PSTN capabilities from a single vendor is a very powerful way to deploy a solution. It's the total peace of mind. It streamlines deployment, reduces cost, reduces complexity, and just makes it a much better experience for the customer. All components enable us to deliver a suite of comprehensive applications. So HD video conferencing on your computer, on your tablet, on your smartphone. Voice, anywhere you go. Mobility apps, which again support not just voice but video, messaging, and presence as well. We have built-in screen sharing, so you can, and it's a wonderful solution where you don't have to download any plugins. It's automatically available, uses 100% WebRTC technology, so you just send an invitation link to anyone. As long as they can access the internet via any type of browser on any type of device, they can share. You can share screens with them. We have voicemail, instant messaging, presence-based routing. So many people are familiar with presence from applications like Microsoft Link, for example, and even Google email as presence. But we do something more with that. Based on your presence status, we can route your calls differently based on whether you're available, away, or busy. So it's not just like, hey, you get a call. You can make it so that if you're away or on vacation, you don't just have all these calls dropping in your voicemail inbox that you have to retrieve when you return. Instead, you can set a routing rule that if you're on vacation, your call will be routed to, 2 or 3 alternative destinations where people can get their in that they're looking for. Your business enjoys continuity of information flow, and you return from your vacation without having an inbox with hundreds of voicemails. And all you should do to rechange your routing is grab your laptop or your mobile device and change your presence setting back to available, and you'll be back in the flow of communications. Built-in conferencing, fast server, call center capabilities, Then an advanced call recording, administration, calendar integration, email integration with all of the popular email clients, third-party integrations with CRMs, really just about anything you connect an API to these days. Building emergency notification capabilities, so when someone calls 911 inside the enterprise or the campus, need to know personnel are notified immediately of who to call, where the call originated, even with map overlays of exactly where the call is. So not just room 301B, they actually see a map of the call has taken place. And of course, advanced report as well. A little bit call center. We're going to call out some of the capabilities here. A very powerful call center capability that comes included with our solution. You're able to see from a supervisor queue monitor side, this is a web-based queue monitor utility that allows call center supervisors to see the status of all of their queues, how many calls are waiting, the maximum wait time per that queue, the average handle time, wrap up in queue, active calls, the presence, how many agents are available, on standby, not available, or registered. Can further dive into any of these queues and see the agent activity and status of everyone in that, all agents in that queue. Also drill in deeper and see exactly how many calls are in that queue and actually move calls in the queue to different agents in real time from a web monitored utility. So they don't install any app to do this. They just log in via their browser, and the supervisor can monitor and manage their call queues in real time. It's a value add part of the TO Unified Communications Suite. Of course, talk about call center capabilities. Of common request is that they have alarm preferences to be able to be set. So you want to be able to set when to be warned and when to alarm for when average wait times, for example, are exceeded, max wait times, average handle times, etc. So this is all being able to be by the system administrator or the supervisor themselves to set their preferences for managing their call center. Have built-in reports. This is a summary report which provides a really quick glance at the high-level information such as calls by group or department. You can filter by user or by department. You can look at call statistics, inbound, outbound, internal, unanswered, etc. You can filter by date range. You can select, just look at very common requested glances like week to date, last week, month to date, year to date, etc. just by clicking a button. Of course, reports can be downloaded, but they can also be automatically email distributed on a prearranged schedule. So, for example, let's say this department manager wants to see this call report every Monday morning at 7:45 a.m. That can be set once, and it's automatically distributed until preference is turned off. And to reports, because of the way we built our platform, it's extremely secure just by the nature of its design. We have a very advanced intrusion detection on the LAN and WAN interfaces and the PSTN side of things. We sandbox services and our application engine and switching. We have internal messaging between the application engine and the application presentation layer, which then uses isolated presentation layer object design, and SRTP and TLS encryption with to any devices, any web app, anything connecting to our platform. And as of today, we're the only company that can actually deliver a cloud service for unified communications that is IPv6, SRTP, and TLS. So it is really the most secure commercial solution available in unified communications. What really sets us apart is our R3&D architecture. And this is an important part to understand about TO. and how you can build a TO system for your customers. So R3 stands for Resilient Node, Resilient Network, and Resilient Devices. A resilient node is a singular application server that is a fully functional, self-reliant UC system in itself, which has internally redundant components and real-time RAID 1 arrays for configuration and storage data. All of the capabilities that we've been talking about, voicemail, call recording, call center, the list that I've gone through before, is supported by a single application server. So they need another server or virtual machine for voicemail or messaging or presence, for example. So your system architecture is radically simplified just in regards. To build larger systems and more resilient systems, you can add multiple nodes and cluster them together. That's what we call a resilient network. So each resilient node being fully functional and self-reliant, clustered with other reliant nodes, create more capability for how many users can be supported and more resiliency in case any of the individual nodes go down. The nodes that are still operating are aware of that network activity and can take over the load and processing of the, let's say, disconnected or damaged node. Or you have zero downtime, and this is why we say we can do 100% resilient capability. This is not like other systems who say, well, we have resiliency, we have failover. This is different in a very important way. Other systems have resilient call processing. So they have calls that need to go, they can often use a gateway that's survivable even if the main server architecture goes down. However, very often they can't get their voicemails. Users can't send faxes. They can't use conference bridges. They can't use their call recordings. They can't use, the list goes on and on and on of what is actually not included in our compatible resilient capabilities. Our resiliency is 100%. There's zero loss of capability in R3&D TO architecture. And that as well as our resilient devices. So because we make all the components, because we make all the software and the hardware, we're able to actually have smarter endpoints that are able to participate in this R3&D architecture deploy model. So they're constantly monitoring to see if there's issues that they need to connect to a different node that's available in case their primary node fails. And this is all happening in real time. Once it's up, there is zero administration required to have the system operate to do any kind of manual failover configurations. Everything happens automatically. It's completely takes care of itself once it's set up. So it's an extremely resilient architecture that sets us apart from the competition. But in addition to being resilient and easy to deploy, it also provides total deployment flexibility. This is really unique capability of TO, and it's because of architecture that we can deploy the exact same features and functionalities in a premises model, a cloud model, and a cloud model, which is really a hybrid of both premise and cloud, where you have a cloud subscription business model, so low money upfront, low monthly payments, but you have the local failover and survivability of having a TO local server able to take over operations in case it's lose your network connectivity for any period of time. There's a total peace of mind, and is really a very recommended model for larger organizations, because the weakest link in all this is really the last mile of the network. So local application server, which has local PSTN capabilities, maybe some analog lines or PI line that can take over the call processing in case the internet goes down, for example. So full deployment flexibility. Of course, we have an on-premise application server customer controls the solution or their part has their own PSTN connections and it's private and secure, but they still get to enjoy cloud accessible features for roaming and remote users. Cloud instance, they have application server cloud instance, which is their own data center infrastructure arrays. They have monthly billing, TO premium quality SIP trunking, and very, very low startup costs. And plus, as we mentioned, it's really the best of both worlds combined. So when we talk about our architecture versus others, when we build with 4 application servers, other people would require nearly 40 to configure the same type of capability. And this is a schematic that we mocked up of what it would take to do what we do with 4 with an Avaya solution. And the fact of the matter is that it's not only extremely cumbersome to do, it's so cost for that no one has ever done this, I believe, in the entire world. But this is what it would look like, and just trying to compare and contrast the complexity we're dealing with everyone else. So, online, some of that most comprehensive solution built for UC from the ground up. It's a total end-to-end system, a complete suite of applications, advanced security, R3&D architecture, and deployment freedom. And that sums up, like, these are the main talking points of the elevator pitch of what you talk about when you're talking about TIO to someone who is you're just trying to introduce what makes TIO different, what sets them apart, why should I think about what they have to offer. So at this point, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take those questions at this time.
Hey, Thomas, maybe you can elaborate a little on the types of margin that Ingram Micro would make on with the product.
Be great. So with a typical premises deployment, the margins are in the about 15%. If in a cloud or a cloud plus model, the margins are in the 30% range. So also in our cloud model, the payments are upfront and in advance. They're not doled in dribs and drabs of small percentages over long durations of time. Ingram and the partners get compensated for the contract upfront. So compelling business model.
Setup where this is Rick speaking, Rick Barbosa, with setup where sales will recognize that compensation and indicated, unlike some other cloud recurring revenue models, it's paid on the front end versus over a course of a 3-year period.
Hey, this is Frank Kohili. I had heard that you guys had a bundle with Jabra.
Currently are running a bundle with Jabra for first quarter. TIO and Jabra are working with you guys, and what we are doing a promotion for first quarter is that if you buy a TIO user license or subscribe to a TIO user subscription on the cloud version of this, you would get 5% off of any Jabra headset or speaker device for like a conference room, as well as a free TIO PC or Mac soft phone. So overall, it depending on the headset you choose, it'll save your customer, $60 to $75 per user who takes advantage of that offer. And it's a really great offer. And to bundle it is in our interest, interest in the partner's interest. Because a lot of times customers will come in, they'll buy. They'll buy the UC system, they'll buy soft phones, and then 3 months later they'll go buy they'll realize they need headsets, and they'll just go to Best Buy or something, or eBay and buy some, really big headsets. So to be proactive with the customer, say if they see them getting soft phones, they can ask them about the headsets, tell them about the promotion, and capture that revenue as well, while definitely helping them out and making that whole deployment a much better experience for everyone. But so far, happy to take some more. We've got about 5 more minutes here.
Also wondering about the model of phones that you guys carry, the hard sets.
We actually make our own sets. So we make desk phones that cost from $150 to $600. $600 model is actually a color touchscreen 8-inch display video phone that can do 4-part video conferencing. It's got a built-in camera. It's all touchscreen, and that's at the high end. It's great for the executive offices, even can be used in conference rooms. Then we go down to the low end, which is about $150, which is kind of like a single-line IP phone, which is great for users who really don't use any advanced features. So we're very price competitive, and we have a phone model that we make and manufacture at every common price point, the needs of the typical office or professional workers.
Sorry if you want to add.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people are so used to vendors selling telecom phones or some type of phone with their platform. That is what we do differently. Like, we actually make the desk phones ourselves, and we've been making desk phones since the 70s. So this is a high level of expertise for us, and it delivers a much better user experience for your customers. Rick?
I would say, just add that one of our primary objectives with onboarding TO with Ingram Micro is also to add new partners, right? So we're looking for new partners, and perhaps you can elaborate on the type of partners that we should be looking for to bring forward as an opportunity that are perhaps engaged in other adjacent types of technologies that we can be targeting.
Oh, that's a great question. So, yeah, the typical partner, there are a couple different types of partner profiles that we're looking for. Far and away, just about anyone who's selling a competitive hosted solution today is what we hear are kind of struggling with it, a little less than enamored with the programs available. Anyone selling a cloud solution today will very often, if not always, be highly interested in converting to selling TO cloud services. Companies that aren't even selling phone systems today, MSPs, managed service providers, companies buying maybe print services and network services have been shy very often to get into the side of services because it's been scary. They felt like it was overly complicated. But really today they're leaving a lot of money on the table if they're not participating in the unified communication side of things. And our programs make it very easy for anyone who has network experience and have the biz customers that they're always supporting. We make it very easy for them to bring in TO to augment their revenues. So typically what we look at is like, hey, if you're not selling a unified communications platform today, you're leaving literally millions and millions of revenue on the table for yourself. So, that's a great way to get into that conversation. Like, I know it's been painful. There's a lot of sins that have been committed by our competitors in the past. Take a look at TO's program. Like, you're going to be amazed. And this is what, dozens of other partners have done and seen the capabilities, and they're making millions and millions of dollars right now with TO. Sound a little Donald Trump there, but millions of dollars. It's really streamlined and taken a lot of pain points out of the whole program. Make it to win with TO for partners.
We on this and further out, you can reach out to Jeff Lente. If I'm pronouncing Jeff's, I always butcher his last name, but he's our MDS supporting the TO business, so he can answer any additional questions you guys may have.
Good.
If no questions, we'll wrap this up. Again, this is recorded, so I'll post it onto the CHAMP site along with the slide deck. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.